Knowing or refreshing knowledge is always good because it updates yourself. Hence, if you still didn't subscribe my channel Cognition, please do so because I will try to bring up a refreshing tutorial videos like this. Most importantly, I often bring up software developers' behavioral videos which are great irrespective of technologies you use. In this series, I shall slowly introduce you to world of Xcode. While creating this series, I presume that you do not have any prior experience on Xcode. I have opened the demo project of what I used in previous series. The link is given below in marquee as well as in the description. Xcode is the first building block of iOS or OS X applications. This is an IDE where you can write code, build and run it in simulator or physical devices. Starting from very beginning at left, these two buttons are used to run and stop the application either in simulator or devices. So basically it means that if you have an iPhone with you, just plug it in Mac and after a few initial setup it will be listed here. You can run your application in it, but today I shall try in simulator. Xcode installs a lot of simulators which represents the physical devices, but these simulators uses your Mac memory, which means you run your application in simulator and you found it that it runs very smoothly, but in physical devices it may feel lag or jerky animations because of the memory crunch. But these situations only occurs in very complex memory intensive applications. Normally it doesn't happen. There are few more limitations in simulator like camera fingerprint authentications. If you are developing an application which uses camera or fingerprint, you cannot run it in simulator as of today, Jan 2018. You must use physical devices in that case. This is called scheme. I will have separate video about the scheme management. For now, just remember that you must select a runnable scheme to run the application. Here only iPhone X simulator is selected in my case. Normally these many simulators are automatically downloaded at the time of Xcode installation itself. But you can download additional simulator by these two options. Let's say I ran this demo on scheme in iPhone X. If build doesn't contain any error, it will run in simulator. You can stop running by pressing this button to change your code and run it again to reflect the change. For very brief intro to scheme, you can change the scheme or create another scheme to configure differently. Let's say you want a scheme to test your app. You have to choose a target. Your program can be targeted to different outputs. Like your program may write can be exported as framework to be used by other programs. But it actually doesn't run by itself. Then you have to create a framework target, and likewise you can create a game target, metal target, extension target, test targets, or even any other application target. Here I shall choose a test target for simplicity. You can give the scheme more meaningful name if you want. Save the scheme and it will appear here. You cannot run this scheme, but it will run your code. It will run your unit test codes. Now talking about these two button groups. These buttons shows the standard area. This left pane is called navigator pane, middle one is called editor area, and right one is inspector pane. This button splits the editor pane in two halves. One is original and another one is assistant. It is very important for the storyboard editing, which I will discuss in separate video. This button is to see the differences or local changes in a file that needs to be pushed to version control like Git. Now these three buttons are for maximizing the editor pane area. It toggles collapsing all other panes. Now you know about the top bar of Xcode. See you in next video. Thank you.